welcome back to Danny Park English Reading Show. I'm going to introduce you to The Horrible Harry and the Stolen Cookie by Susie Klein, pictures by Amy Warmer. Do you remember I read you 1 chapter, 2 chapter, 3 chapter, 4 chapter, 5 chapter, 6 chapter, and 7 chapter? Did you remember? Yeah, it's time for chapter 8, Cling Pink and Cling Plonk. Do you want to explore this book with me? Yeah, let's find out. Cling Pink, Cling Plonk. Someone's at the door, she shouted. The first group that came into room 3B was the 4th grade class. Our art teacher, Mrs. Matalata, was with them. I love your posters, she explained. They're so colorful. It wasn't long before we heard the sound of the first few sales. 2 kids bought chocolate chip cookies from Sid for 30 cents each. Cling plonk, cling plonk. They dropped the change into his glass jar. Mrs. Matalata brought two of Mary's Bracella rolls. Cling, 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 plonk. Mary proudly deposited the silver coins in a baby food jar. I'll get the Kira storage book for my little brother, the first grade girl said as she handed me the quarter. Thanks, I dropped the coin into my jar. My first sale. Came plink! A lot of the 4th grade girls dashed around Song, Liz, and Ida's desks. Oh, these bracelets are so cute, a girl said. I love the colors. I'm getting 2. 1 for each wrist, said another. Song, Lee, and Ida were busy handing out their stringy bracelets and depositing coins in their money jars. Cling, plink, cling, plonk, cling, plink, cling, plonk. Just as quickly as they sold the bench, they brought out another from their box for reserves on the floor. Harry sat at his desk, waiting. 2 4th grade boys stopped by and looked at the stud people. He picked up the general. Cool, he said. Then he saw $5 price tag and walked away. Harry got a long face. Mrs. Matalata stopped by and admired Harry's work too. I'm going to do a stud people art lesson someday. They looked like fun, Harry. What a good way to recycle old materials. Harry tried to smile, but Mrs. Matalata didn't buy one either. By the time the first class left, everyone had made a sale except Harry. His stud people were still lined up on his desk in 10 rows. I'm changing the price, Harry mumbled. It's too much moolah. Just remember, it's ordinary yards, I said. I hope you to keep the price high. Harry shook his head. Nah, I gotta get real. Then he crossed a $1 and wrote, say the price 15 cents. The general was a quarter. You're just changing 15 cents? I replied, that's a steal. And then, right after that, I said, I nodded to myself. That's what Harry was planning to do. Steal from the Girl Scouts. The 5th grade group that came next bought a lot of Harry's stud people. They loved them. One tall boy bought the general. He pretended to make him talk as he stopped by my book display. I picked up the book of list and said it to me in his general report. I like this book. It has lots of facts in it. Maybe there will be some about the army. And then the tall boy made the general jump on top of the book. Thanks, I said, dropping his quarter into my jar. Harry was busy collecting silver coins for his people. He dropped some into his money jar and some into the brown leather coin purse in his desk. I couldn't stand watching him get that thing open and close. I knew I had to use my horrible plan. It was just a matter of when. My horrible chocolate chip cookie plan. As the afternoon rolled on, Harry stole all his people. The second graders especially loved them. I can't believe it, Duggo! I can't believe it, Duggo! Harry exclaimed. I stole my entire battle in a man! Yes, you did, I said. I wasn't smiling. Harry lowered his voice. I earned $15.10, Duggo. $7.55 for the Girl Scouts and $7.55 for the GS Found. That's fair and square. That's it, I thought. It was time to put my horrible plan into action. Hey, Harry. We've been smelling chocolate all day. Do you want to chip in with me and buy a cookie from Sid? 15 cents each. We can split it after school. I noticed Mary was listening. She leaned over and held up our rules. She wanted us to buy one. Harry thought hard about what he had done. I sure do miss Grandma's cookies. But no home cooking when your oven is broken. And ours has been broken for 5 days now. Who knows how long it would take to save up the money to repair it? Mary raised her eyebrows. I immediately turned back to her. I didn't want Harry to see she was eavesdropping. Harry still wanted to keep his family problem a secret. Okay, Harry reached into his pants and pocket and dumped everything onto the table. A handful of dirty coins, a bottle cap, and some cat hair. 16 cents, Harry said. That's all I have. He handed me 15 cents. He returned the one penny and bottle cap to his pocket. He left the cat hair on his desk. Much to Mary's disappointment, I took Harry's pennies over to his desk. I brought one cookie with Harry's 15 cents plus the 15 cents that I had in my pocket. That's my last cookie, she said. My stepdad, I trembled the recipe too. I took the plastic bag from the good-sized chocolate chip cookie and walked over to the coat rack where my lunchbox was. No one could see me back there or what I was doing, so I took my time. When I finally returned to my seat, Harry was smiling from ear to ear. He was probably thinking about eating his half of that delicious cookie after school. Boys and girls, Miss Mackerel said, it's time to put your money into one of the 3 dictionary jars. Please line up to my desk. Harry tapped me on the shoulder. Hey, Doug, did you put that cookie in your lunchbox? I waited for Mary to go to the end of the line. I didn't want her to hear what I was going to say. When the coast was clear, I looked at my buddy square in the eye. Sorry, Harry, I couldn't help myself. I ate the whole thing. You what? Harry replied. I ate it. But that was supposed to be our cookie. I gave him my 15 cents. Well, it's gone now. You stole that money from me. It was mine. my life savings, Harry objected. His nose in my face, I stared right into Harry's brown eyeballs. Isn't it that what you're doing with the Girl Scout money? I whispered, taking something that's not yours? Harry suddenly leaned back. How could you do that to me, Douglas? Douglas? That was new. He had never called me that before. You're a thief, Harry snarled. You stole me half of the chocolate chip cookie. As soon as those words came out of his mouth, I looked away. Neither of us said anything more. I just looked out the window and scowled. Then Mary returned to her seat. She was frowning too. I took my jar of coins to the teacher's desk and stood behind Dexter. He was humming an Elvis tune. I'm all shook up. That's for sure, I thought. I felt all shook up. I had done my horrible deed. And for what? I glanced back at Harry. He was still sitting in his chair, beaming with anger. I dumped her earnings into the GSUSA jar. $12.50, she said proudly. Juju and Songley dropped their change into the uninitiative jar. $12.50 too, Songley said. $15.55, Dexter added. Dexter and Sydney poured their money into ASPCA jar. I earned $10 by selling handmade Elvis bookmarks, Dexter said. I earned so much money I couldn't even count it all, Sydney bragged. I put my $8.75 into the ASPCA jar too. Harry got his cat the Goog from the animal shelter. I was glad they rescued stray cats like him. Wonderful! Mr. Mackle exclaimed. Has everyone come up? Mary pointed to Harry. He hasn't. Harry's the last one. I couldn't look at Harry anymore. I just stared at the 3 jars on Miss Mackle's desk. The Girl Scout jar had the least money. That's probably why Mary was frowning. I heard Harry's chair moving and his footsteps. He was right behind me. I stepped aside. All eyes on Harry. Chapter 10. How the cookie crumbled. Everyone watched Harry dump the money from his baby food container into the Girl Scout jar. $7.55, he said. And then he did something else. He pulled out his brown coin purse, unzipped it, and shook all the change into Girl Scout's jar. And $7.55 more, he mumbled. Mary was jumping up and down. The 3 jar was just about even now. I let out the biggest sigh. Harry couldn't do it after all. I started clapping. Everyone joined in with me. Miss Margaret stood up from her desk. Yes, you all did such a good job. Just look how full these Dunstan jars are. Our teacher clapped with us. We'll count the money after tomorrow in math, she added. Then the 3 o'clock bell rang. Harry made a beeline for the hallway. His grandma always waited for him at the top of the ramp in her red truck. I just quickly grabbed my jacket and bag and headed for the door. Mary was behind me. Wait up, she called. She was just getting her jacket off the hanger. She always zipped hers up so it wouldn't fall on the floor and get dirty. I couldn't wait for her. I had to catch up with Harry. He was running now, so I did too. Harry! Wait! I called out. I kept running. Please wait up, I insisted. Harry finally stopped at the bottom of the ramp. What for? He growled. I'm glad you couldn't do it, I said. And now you're mad. Harry didn't say anything. I opened up my lunchbox and held out the plastic bag with the chocolate chip cookie inside. Harry immediately took a step back. You didn't eat it? No, I just said I did. You made it feel like I was being robbed, Harry replied, like you stole my life savings. I had to, I said. You're going to do that to someone else, the Girl Scouts. Harry paused. I didn't know it felt like that. No fun, huh? I said. No, Harry agreed. I felt like the time Sydney smashed my spider with a rock. I put my arm around Harry. I remembered Charlie the spider. I can't steal anything, Harry confessed. Not even for Grandma. I opened up the bag and broke the cookie in two. I gave it half to Harry. Thanks, Duggo, he said. You stopped me from being a thief. Well, actually, our cookie did. It was a super cookie. Harry looked at his half. It doesn't leap tall buildings in a single bound, but it does fight crime. Thanks, super cookie, he said. Then he gobbled it down. I ate my half too. While Harry licked the chocolate off his fingers, I looked around for something to wipe his hand on. That's what I saw Marion running toward us. She was out of breath. I want to talk to you, Harry. Oh boy, I thought. I overheard you talking to Doug about your broken oven. Harry was in much better mood now. You did? So, do you have a stove for me, Mayor? He joked. Well, actually, Harry, I do. I was wondering if you might want an old stove. It works fine. It's just a few years old. But it's the wrong color of our new kitchen. Mom was wondering what to do with it. So if you want it... Want it? Are you kidding? Harry interrupted. We love your stove. Harry gave Mary a bear hug. Then he raced up the ramp, yelling, Grandma, guess what? Mary looked embarrassed. But I didn't care. I gave her a hug too. She really showed Harry how friends can help. Ew-wee, she groaned. You guys got the chocolate on my jacket. Whoops, I tried not to laugh. Suddenly, Harry howled from his truck. Thank you, Mayor. My grandma will call your mom. They all drove off with with the window down. I could see Harry's big toothy smile as he waved back at us. Sydney, delicious chocolate chip recipe. What do you need? 2 and 4 and 1 cup flour. 1 teaspoon baking soda. 1 teaspoon salt. 2 sticks, 1 cup softened butter. Cup brown sugar, cup white sugar. Large eggs. Trombone summered vanilla. Cheaper and it's just as good. Customly sweet chocolate chips. 1. Ask an adult to help you. 2. Prepan oven to 375 degrees. Combine flour, baking soda, and start in the one bowl. Set aside. Mix butter and sugars in a larger bowl. Beat until creamy. Add the eggs and vanilla. Beat well. Store the flour mixer. Add the chocolate chips. Drop 1 tablespoon into unused cookie sheet. Cook 11 minutes. Make 30 good-sized cookies. You can split one and share it with a friend. Tip: after being warm the next day, you microwave the cookie for just 10 seconds. The end. This is Denny Park, and I read you The Horrible Harry and the Stolen Cookie by Susie Klein, pictures by Amy Woolmer. I'm going to read Horrible Harry's next book tomorrow. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye. See you later.